All right. Okay, so now I am in Canvas. All right, so like I said, we are mostly going to cover the things over here on the left-hand side, starting with account all the way down to help. From there, we're going to jump into a course, and I'm only going to show a few things in the course. Some things with people, some of the settings that you can do, and how to choose a homepage. All of the other things inside the course will be covered in tomorrow's intro, the Canvas tools workshop. So, all right, so we're going to jump right in, and I'm just going to start with the account. That's the first option over on the left-hand side. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show is it here? Okay, I skipped notifications. That's where my notes didn't make sense to me. Okay, so to add your profile picture, the profile picture shows up next to you in the people tool. So when students go in, or you look into the people tool, you can see it also shows up next to discussions, things like that. So it is a good idea to add a picture for your students. So I clicked on that profile tab. To add a new picture, you would just click on this edit button. You can upload a picture from your computer that you have. You can take a picture with your webcam. If I wanted to take a new picture, I would click take picture. If you know what Gravatar is, I guess you can use a Gravatar if you have one. So that's the other option. And then once you chose a picture or took a picture, you would just save, and then that would become your new profile picture. You can edit your profile page also. So if students click on your name, they come to your profile page. So if you would like to add a little biography, a little bit of information about yourself, your education, whatever, you can also add links to websites. So if you have a website of some sort that you would like to share with your students or with anybody in Canvas that is in a course with you, you would give it a title, what is this link, and then paste in the URL. And you can add more than 2 if you wanted to by clicking add another. And then you would just save your profile, and people would be able to see whatever you add onto this page. Notifications are probably one of the more confusing things, and they've gotten a little bit more confusing recently with a new update. All right, so these are the notifications for all courses that you are a member of. In the past, it has always been set up where you could only set up notifications here, and that took effect for every single course that you're a member of. Canvas has recently added in the ability to do course level notification changes. So these would be the overall notifications for every course I'm in, unless I go into that course, a specific one, and then either turn on or off notifications for that specific course. So the course level notifications will override this. But if you have not set course level notifications, these will be the default notifications for every other course. All right, so I'll show you later when we're in a course how to do that course level notification. But for these, all the other courses, there are notifications you can set for a lot of different things. Some of these are student specific, like grading. Some of them are instructor specific. If we hover over something, it tells you, like this blueprint thing, it is for instructors and admin only, and to get warned when blueprint has been synced. And I'm sure most people don't know what a blueprint course is because we haven't really worked with them much here, but hovering over will definitely give you an idea. So all submissions is a good example for instructor and admin. If an assignment, except for a quiz, receives a submission or a resubmission, do you want to be notified? All right. By default, everyone only has one column with their SVSU email address. That means an email would be sent to your SVSU email address for any of these notifications that you turn them on for, okay? Students have the same ability for notifications as you. So a student can turn off all their notifications and never get emails through their SVSU email address if they choose to. All right, so you can never guarantee they will get an email notification about anything because they may have turned those off. but they will still see things within Canvas itself. And I'll show you that in a little bit, how some of those things they'll get notified anyway. So the ones that we do say that you should recommend that your students should turn it on for, one would be announcements. The other would be conversations, which are if you use the Canvas inbox, okay? And those are the ones I have turned on only. All right, so I will get notification for announcements, and I will get notification. So the key at the top tells you what each thing means. The checkbox is to notify me right away. The clock is a daily summary. Once a day, I believe towards the end of the day, it sends an email, hey, these are all the announcements that were sent, say, today. A weekly summary, so you'd get an email once a week. These are all the announcements that you missed. And the X is none at all. You won't be notified at all. All right, so the push notification, that's there because I have the Canvas app turned on some of my devices. So do I want to receive push notifications for my device? And there's also notification settings within the device itself. So the other thing you can do is add a separate email address. So students sometimes like this because they don't use the SVSU email address much, but hey, they're in Google all the time using their Gmail. So they can add a column for their Gmail address, and I'll show you that in a minute. And receive their email notifications that way. All right, so they would go through and say, okay, for grades, maybe they want grades to get sent to all of their, devices. I want to know when my grade has been done, so I wanted to email all of them. So they can turn on and off for each separate device or method, and then turn things on or off for what they do and they do not want to receive notifications for. And the same for you. So if you want to say all submissions, you would never probably want to get immediately for all submissions, because if you've got 3 courses and there are 30 students in each, every time a student submits, you're going to get an email. That would be a lot of emails. So maybe for this, you might want to do a daily summary. Hey, once a day, it'll email you and say, hey, these 6 students submitted to this course assignment type of a thing. So keep that in mind. And if you get way too many emails on something, come in and change these. I think by default, it is one of these 2 discussion ones that's turned on. So every time a new, I'm not sure if it's a new post or a new topic is created, it creates an email. And that's turned on by default. So all of a sudden you start getting way too many Canvas emails regarding discussions. Some people don't know where these notifications are, so they just start reporting it as spam. And then we have problems with emails you want to receive don't get received because Canvas has been marked as spam type of a thing. So it's this notifications page is where you want to come in. And there's a lot of different options. And like I say, hovering over gives you a quick description of what each of these is. All right, so those are the notifications. If I click down here next on the settings, this is where I can add additional contact methods. So right here, I already have my SVSU and my Gmail. If I also had another email, like say I had an old AOL email address I wanted to use, I would click on Add Email Address, and I could add that as another email address, and then it would create a new column under notifications to receive notifications there. Okay. Other contact method is if you want to put in a cell phone. Now, not many instructors do this, but a lot of students will, hey, I want to get a text notification as soon as my instructor has graded. They can do that by adding a contact method and putting in their cell phone number, and then it will send them text messages, and that would again create another new column in the notifications with their cell phone, and they could choose just to have certain, maybe they want the announcements to automatically go to their cell phone so they don't miss them type of a thing. So if you ever did want to put your cell phone number in here or for certain notifications, students are not able to see this. This is just for notifications, so you don't have to worry about putting your cell phone in and then having students say, hey, look, here's their email or their cell phone number. I'm going to call them at 2 in the morning and ask them a question. They can't do that. They cannot see it. It is only for notification purposes only. So you can safely add a cell phone number here if you wanted to. All right, the other thing here on this page is the files. This is just a files area where you can save files that are not part of a course. So say for some reason you wanted to save something, you don't want it to be in any of your courses yet, but you want it accessible through Canvas, you would upload that here, and you are the only one that has access. Profile pictures you've added will automatically be saved here. If you are a student and you have uploaded files, they're saved in this files area also. But for instructors, there's usually less there because that's just files that you have decided to upload there. So, all right, and that is about it. They have recently added this new global announcements. So if we ever do a global announcement that shows up at the top of the page, it will be available at the top of the page when you first log into Canvas. It will also be located here. When it's at the top of the page, if you exit off to get rid of it, it will still exist here under current if it's a recent, or recent if it's older than that. So if you've deleted one and then say, oh, wait, what did that say? Maybe that was important. I want to look at it again. It would be located here. So that's what that is. All right, so we are now going to go back to our dashboard. So this is, of course, the page you hit when you first log into Canvas. Each course you're a member of is a course card. One of the recent changes Canvas made is that before all of the courses were mixed, now they have separated published courses at the top of the page and unpublished courses at the bottom of the page. I think the reason they did this is because it's not always clear easily for you to see whether your course is published or not. So they added it like this because that way you don't accidentally tell your students, okay, the site is up and ready, go look, and then the students start saying, I can't access it, and then you realize, oh, I forgot to publish it. So this just makes it stand out. If it's not at the top of the page in this published courses section, that means you have not published it yet. So that's down here. And they did add a publish button right here on this course card. So I don't even need to enter the course and click it. I can just click publish right here and publish that course. So like I said, that just makes it easier for you to see what has not been published yet. Over on the right-hand side, there are a few things. There is a to-do section. For instructors, this would be, okay, a student turned in this paper. 2 students submitted to this discussion. This shows you what work you have to do, what grading is there waiting for you, all right? So I know that I've got 2 discussions to grade in this course and 1 paper to grade in this course. So I can click on that and it'll take me right to it. If I say, okay, yep, I know this, I don't want to do this yet, I'm going to wait till more students have submitted to this paper, I can exit off. And that did not exit. I'm sorry, I clicked on it instead of exiting it. So let's try that again. All right, so it dismissed, but it said it will reappear when a new submission. So it's gone from my to-do list now because I know I don't want to work on it now, but as soon as a new student submits to that paper, it will pop back up in my to-do again. So that just gives you a little bit of information about what you need to do in the course, what students have been submitting. For students, they see the to-do coming up. Those are things that they have that are coming up due. So to-do, I think, is more of the coming up today, tomorrow, and the coming up one is a little further out. So they'll be able to quickly look here and see, all right, I've got a paper due and a quiz in another course, and it's the same type of a thing that just gives them a little overview of what they have to do. Recent feedback is for the students. So if a student has submitted something and you've given feedback to them, that would show up here. So they'd be able to see, okay, hey, yep, the instructor gave me some sort of feedback on this assignment. So they can click on that and go in and view it. So even if they do not have their notifications turned on, they will see that here in their recent feedback. The other thing here are each course card has these little icons depending on what tools you're using. So here in this course, that icon is for announcements. So I can see that there are 11 new announcements in this course. So even if I have my notifications turned off, as a student, I come in, I see this, I go, okay, yep, there are 11 new announcements in this course. So I can click on that and it will take me to the announcements for that course, and then I can view them. So again, even if they have notifications turned off, they'll see it when they come in here to Canvas. If you are using online course evaluations, and that is, I got to move this. I have that in the wrong place. I'm going to draw an arrow so I remember to talk about it later. So I'll talk about the online course evaluations in a little bit. So I'm not sure what order they specifically put these things in. Probably it's alphabetically, but you can drag and reorder them. So if this course that's way down here at the bottom, okay, this is an important course for me, I can click and drag and I can move that up to the top of the page. That way I have easier access to it. So that's one way you can kind of reorganize your courses. You can also change color for different courses. So if I don't want this to be green, I click on the 3 dots next to that, and then I can choose a different color. Maybe I want this one to be blue. And then I would click on apply, and now it changes it to that. I guess it's a bluish purple, but and if you know hex codes, you can actually type in the hex code for a different color that's not available here, and you can put any color you want on here. So you can also change the name for the course. You can give it a nickname. So rather than having this being biology, oops, sorry, I clicked away. I can just say biology, or I could put something like, geez, sorry about that, botany. Okay, and then apply. And then it's going to show up as botany for me and only me. And students can do that same thing. That way, instead of them trying to remember which course number is which, that is still listed here, but they would see the nickname that they gave it. All right, now the last thing, I'm going to show you what it looks like here, and then I'll show you how to do it later. That are these course cards, images, I'm sorry. You can add an image rather than just a color. You can add images in so that if you're teaching that botany class, you could find a picture of a plant and put that as your course card. That's just a way that makes it easier for students. So, okay, yep, that's my botany class because it has that picture of the plant or whatever. So the one thing I will point out about your course cards are that by default, the color overlay is on. So you can see these green is over the top and these pictures don't look that great. If I click in on the 3 dots and I turn off that color overlay, it removes the color over the top and your pictures are going to look better. So that's one of those. People have talked to Canvas about, can we just have that turned off by default? But unfortunately, it is not turned off by default. So you do also have the option to create different dashboard. This is the card view. I can do a list view. This is good for students because it gives them a list of all the different things that they have to do. This is including things like office hours that have been added in. That must be some sort of an announcement. Yep. So for them, they can see, okay, these are all the things that I need to do this week, and they can click from here and go right to them. So that is a good option, the list view for students. It doesn't do anything for instructors. It is only includes things that are to do, so it would only be good for your students. And then there is a recent activity which just shows different things that have happened in your classes. Okay, 12 announcements have made in this, 2 conversations have been added to that type of a thing. The card view is probably the most popular for instructors, and I think that list view with the to-do is the most popular for students. All right, so the next tab down is courses. All right, now this is showing me my published courses and my unpublished courses. My dashboard does not have every single course I am a member of. I'm a member of a lot of courses because people add them to them for testing and whatnot. And I don't want all those courses on my dashboard. I only want the ones I use most to be here. So the courses tab, here it's showing me all the same ones that I have favorited that are showing up on my dashboard. But then I have a link here at the bottom to all courses. That takes me to every single course that I'm a member of. And no matter what order you've rearranged things on the dashboard, these are always in alphabetical order. So I'm going to click on all courses. All All right, and again, as you can see, this is a lot of courses that I've been a member of, and I definitely do not want all those on my dashboard. So if the star is filled in, that means I've added it as a favorite, and it will show up on my dashboard. So if I wanted to add this as a favorite, I would click on that star to turn it on. If I have a course there that I no longer want on my dashboard, like my courses from that last semester, I would click in the star and it would go away. Students don't have this problem because as soon as the course ends, 2 weeks after, they lose access to that course and it's automatically removed from their dashboard, and their new courses are automatically added to it. But for you as a teacher, courses stay on your dashboard forever unless you come in here and start adding favorites. All right, and they are organized. It tells you what role you have, if it's published or not, and it's kind of organized. All these that are in gray are the ones that are unpublished. So this is another one that if I'm looking for a course, oh, yep, it is not published. So it's another way that helps to let you see if a course is published or not. All right, so any questions about anything we've covered so far? All right, groups is only there if you are a member of a group as a student. So if you as an instructor have groups in your course, you will not see this. But if you've been added to a group as a student, you will have this groups tab, and then it will give you access directly to those groups here. So the calendar is nice because every single item that you have that has a due date is automatically added to the dashboard. So here we have a discussions, quizzes, all of these things. So for students, they can come here and look and see what's due. If it's crossed out, that means, okay, I've already turned that in. So even if maybe it's not due yet until next week, if I've submitted as a student, it's going to show as crossed out for me. So I'll know I've completed it. And for you as the instructor, you could come in and easily see, okay, yep, these are all the things I have to do for the week. The default view is month, but you can view by week. You can view by agenda view, which is, you know, a list. All right, so one of the nice things you can do on the calendar, like I said, anything that has a due date will automatically be added here. So this week 2 discussion was added to my Wednesday, the 15th. Make sure I can do this. I'm a student in this course, so I can't move this one. So I got to find one I can. Okay, so here's a good one. We were going to do this media assignment that was going to be due on Saturday. Okay, now this week comes along, we're working, and I'm like, okay, we didn't have a chance to get to this. I'm going to move the due date for this. I can click and drag this down to this next day, the following Saturday. Not only does it change it on my calendar, it also changes the due date for this assignment. So I don't have to move it here and then go over to the assignment and change the due date. I drag it and move it, and that due date is automatically going to get changed in my course. So that's a nice feature for moving things if you have a snow day and you have to move something or whatever. Each of these calendars are color coded. So over here on the right, I can turn on and off calendars, so I'm seeing only the ones that have the color. Those are the only courses I'm seeing on my calendar. If I want to see another one, I click in it, and then now anything from that course is added also. I can also change my color here, and if I change the color here, it changes it for the calendar, but it also changes it for the course card. So if I realize 2 things are too close in color and I can't tell the difference, I can just change it here also. And then if I click, I can turn off a calendar also. So if you have some sort of a course that's putting a lot of things on your calendar and you don't want them, you can turn that off. Show hide, drag and drop to move. Okay, so those are the basics for your calendar. Inbox is next, and that's where you can send Canvas messages to your students. Okay. By default, you're seeing messages for every course you're a member of, and you're looking at your inbox. You can narrow down to specific course only. So any course that you favorited is going to be on this first list. Any of the other courses that you're a member of that you have not favorited will be on this one. If courses are concluded, so these are all the courses I was in as a student that have concluded, I can look at any messages that were sent for those. If I have messages from groups I'm a member of. So this allows me to narrow down to a specific thing only. So if I click on this, That's only going to show me inbox messages for this course. All right. Rather than the inbox, I can also look at just unread messages. I can look at messages that I have starred. I can look at messages that I have sent. So these are the messages that I have sent from the Canvas inbox. And again, I can narrow down by specific courses only. That way I can see, okay, I thought I sent an email, or I'm sorry, a Canvas message to so-and-so. I want to double check. I go to sent, I find that course, and I can look and see, did I send that? Yes, okay, I did send that message. So, and then the other, if you archive, you can see archived. Now, submission comments is really nice, and this is something that I only found a few months back. I had an instructor contact me and say, I put comments on the SpeedGrader, and then students comment back, and I have no clue that they've commented back. The only way I can see it is if I open the SpeedGrader every day and I scroll through all those things and see if a student commented back. That's what this submission comments is for. If I click on that, it is going to show me all submission comments from any of the courses. So if a student has commented back to you, this is where you can see that very easily without going through a lot of work. Again, I had no clue that was there until sometime in the winter semester. So that's a real nice feature so that you can look and see, have any students commented back to me? Yes or no, you'll see them here. All right, now it looks like I might have some questions. Canvas messages are seen in Canvas. They will be seen in their SVSU email only if they have notifications turned on. Where if you send an email that would be through your SVSU email, you send an email to the student, they only see it in their SVSU email. So it's just a matter of where it's happening. If they have their notifications turned off so that they do not get email notification for a Canvas message, this inbox would show a number 1, 2, 3. So they'd be able to see as soon as they log into Canvas, look, I have new Canvas messages. So even if they have those notifications turned off, they will see here that they have received Canvas notification. Now, one important thing to mention too, if I send somebody a Canvas message, they have their notifications turned on, so they receive email notification. So in Outlook, they receive a notification that says, hey, Cindy sent you this message. The message will be there so that they can read it. If they click reply from Outlook and reply back to my Canvas message, that will go through. It will be sent from Outlook and it will come in back to my inbox in Canvas. So you can reply to email notifications and it will automatically go into Canvas. So they don't have to read the message in Outlook and then go to Canvas and reply. They can reply directly from Outlook. The only thing to remember with that, if they reply and they attach a file, that file will not be sent. The only way to send a file in Canvas messages is to log into Canvas and do it. If you reply from the Outlook email, that attachment is stripped off. So if you're ever in here, or if you're even in your own Outlook notification message, and a student says, okay, here's my file to look at, and there's no file, that's what happened. They replied to an email notification, and it does not include that attachment if you've added one. It's one of those things that we wish Canvas would change, but unfortunately it doesn't. And we have at least added a little notification at the bottom that as you're replying that says, if you reply, attachments will not be included, but I think people do sometimes miss that notice at the bottom. So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. Now, if I want to send a Canvas message, that's what this pen and pencil icon, compose a new message. So I'm going to click on that. All right, the first thing I do is I select a course. Which course am I going to send a message to? All right, so say I want to send it to this course. So I select my course first. Now you can only send a Canvas message to for a course that is published. If the course is unpublished, it will not let you send a message to students. All right, that's because if they have their notifications turned off, the only way they could access it is through Canvas, and if the course is not published, they'd never be able to see that message. So you have to publish it before you can use the Canvas messages. So I've chosen my course. I click this little address book icon on the right. That's going to allow me, and am I going to send it to every single member of this course, only other teachers in the course, students in the course, or if I have more than one section, if I've combined section 1 and section 2, I can pick a specific section also. All right, so I want to send this to students. So I click on students. Now, do I want to send it to all students or just specific students only? All right, so let me say I'll do all students. And you can choose more than one. If I clicked on one of the students, I can then click on another student also. So you can send it to more than just one. So then I have my title. So maybe I'm going to do a welcome message. This next thing is important. Send an individual message to each recipient. By default, that's turned off. That means if I send this message to every student in my course, one of them replies, that reply is going to be seen by everybody. Okay, so it'll be a giant group message that everyone is going to see all of the messages for. If instead, if I want a reply from one student to only come to me, I'm going to check this box. So it's one big email that is being, or I'm sorry, message that's being sent to every single student in the course. But if one student replies, that reply will come to me and only me. Okay, so if you don't want a giant group message, then you want to make sure you check that. So I'll just do a quick message, welcome to my course. Okay, the other options we have down here is we can add an attachment. We can also record an audio or video comment. So rather than typing out, welcome to my course, I can click on this. I can record either with my webcam and microphone, or I can turn off my webcam if I want and just do my voice. And then I can record something to, hello and welcome to my course. All right, I could play and listen to make sure, do I like it or not, and start over if I don't, but I just click on save. And that media comment has been added so that when the students come in and look at this, they'll be able to click on that and listen to my message. All right, and then I just click on send. All right, and now that message has been sent. Now I'm in my inbox, I don't see that here, but if I go to my sent messages, I will see that yes, I sent a welcome message. And then here is that link where they would click on it to listen to my message. So. All right, so are there any questions about the inbox? All right, the last thing on the outside before we enter into a course we're going to look at is the help real quick. All right, there are a few different links in here, links to putting in a ticket if you want to add a ticket. But the most important are the search the Canvas guides. I'm going to open that in a different tab. Anything you want to find out about Canvas, you can find out here. So it's in the evening and you're like, okay, how did she add that course card or image or the color overlay? What was that? So I could type in, oops, overlay. Okay. And then it gives me, did I spell something wrong? Okay, bad example. It's not giving me anything that's helping me. But if there was something in particular I was looking for and I typed in, let's try notification. How do I add a contact method to receive Canvas notifications? So if I open that up and then I go in and look at it, this includes everything step by step, what you're going to click on, how you're going to do that. So this is a great service if you are, it's nights and weekends, you know we're not in the office and you want to find out something. You can come here and search for them. If you send a question to us, we'll often send you a link to the guide. And that's not because we think that you should have gone and looked it up yourself, because we don't mean it that way. That's just because this is the best way to show you exactly what. We'll put any other instructions that might be necessary, like, okay, you just have to skip down to the view communication warning section of this page, but it has all the screenshots and shows you everything you need. So it's a lot better than us just typing out directions on how to do something. So we'll quite often send you to these guide pages. They're kept updated, so if things change in Canvas, they update the guide page so that those changes are there. So they always have the most up-to-date information. This is how I learned how to use Canvas, was through the guides and only through the guides. We had a very quick overview from Canvas, but after that it was playing around and reading the guides. So they are really good. So they are there as a resource if you want to look up something on your own. So, all right, so that's everything outside of Canvas. Next, we're going to jump into a course, and I'm going to show you a couple of things in there. All right, so I want to jump into this course. The first thing I want to show you a couple things within the People tool. This is, of course, everybody that is in your course, what role they have. If there's more than one section in the course, you can see what sections they're a member of. But most importantly, we have this last activity and total activity. This can help you determine if, say, if you have a student that is not joining up on Canvas, they're not doing the Canvas work that they should be. You can look at the last activity. And so I say this student, okay, this student has not been in my course since July 21st. You can also look at the amount of time a person has spent in the course. This student has spent a lot less time in the course than all of the other students. So if this student seems to be struggling in my course or contacts me and says, I don't understand this, course, I don't know what's going on, you can come in here and see, yes, they haven't been in the course for a month and they haven't spent very much time in there. So that might be why they're not doing a good job in my class, because they're not spending the time in Canvas that they should. So this can give you, it's not, of course, the total picture, but at least gives you a rough idea compared to everybody else. How much time are they spending and when's the last time they were in? Now, if, for example, this is me as a teacher, but if I see, okay, this student was in here today and they spent, 100 times more time in the course than anyone else, and this student is failing, there's something else going on. So this would just give you kind of a rough idea of how things are going in the course. If you click on the student's name, so say if I want to contact this person, I click on their name, there is an envelope so that I can email that student. I have a link to their grades page so I can look at their grades. And then there's a little analytics page also that gives you a little bit of information about that student. Quickly just show it to you. There's no information. I guess there's a bad example with this student because nothing. This is just me added with an outside email address. But let's see. I will click on this student and analytics. And again, this is a fake student, so I guess I don't have a lot of information, but this is showing, okay, when things have been turned in, how much weekly online activity, how much time have they been spending in the past week in the course. Communication, how many times have I communicated with this student? So that just gives you a little bit more information about that particular student. All right, we're going to skip down to the settings for the course. Okay, first of all, this is where you add that course card image that I talked about. So if I click on choose image, I can upload a file. If I have a file already I want to upload. If I want to just add a generic picture, Unsplash is kind of like a Flickr, and then you go in and you do a search. So say it was, we've got an art instructor with a ceramics class. So spelled it wrong. All right, so then I'm, okay, it's a ceramics class. I want to have a ceramics picture. I can go next page if I don't like any of these pictures, but say I like this one here. I'm going to click on that. That will become my course card. Now you always have to make sure you save at the very bottom of the page, update, in order for that change to stay. All right, I always point out the start and end dates. The reason because technically, you probably shouldn't play with these unless there's a reason, and I'll explain that. By default, of course, students never see your course until it's published, but even if it is published early, students won't have access to the course until 2 weeks before the beginning of the semester, and they retain access for 2 weeks after the semester. One of the problems we've seen is we'll have instructors once in a while that'll say ends. Okay, my final is on Wednesday of finals week. I'm going to put an end date of Wednesday of finals week. But what happens there is that the students are then locked out of the course. They can no longer go in and look at their grades. They can't upload any further papers, anything like that. They lose access if you enter an end date. So we recommend you just leave them blank. There's no reason to play with them as long as 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after are good for you, then you don't need to play with these. The reason you would want to use these, again, as an example with one of the art courses, we sometimes have art instructors that want to contact students 6 weeks ahead with a list of supplies they want them to buy. And so then I could come in here and I would set my date to be 6 weeks early. So our courses would, in SVSU, classes start the 31st. They were available the 17th. So maybe they wanted that to August 3rd. So that gives those students an extra 2 weeks. This would allow them to publish that course and make it available to students this early. End dates are changed. If you had a student that took an incomplete, you want to keep the course open for an extra 6 weeks for the student, that is when you would want to use an end date to keep that course open longer. Okay, so then I would come in here and, okay, 6 weeks after, and I'm just going to rough and say, okay, it's this date I want to keep it open till. So it will keep that open until this date. Now, the other important thing about your start and end date, Canvas ignores the start and end date unless you check this box underneath. They can only participate in the course between these dates. If I check that, then Canvas will use those dates. All right, so we want to make sure only add these if you want extra availability besides the 2 weeks before to 2 weeks after, and remember to check this box. All right. And then I'm going to update course details to save that course card. And so now if I go to my dashboard, hey, we can see that course card is now here. So it makes it easier for me to see, yes, that's my ceramics course. I'm going to go back to my settings again. Sections you never really have to worry about. That just shows the sections you have in your course, so you don't need to worry about it. Navigation page allows you to hide tools that you're not using and to reorganize the ones that are left. So if I say I'm not going to be using Echo 360, I can drag this down here, and that's automatically going to hide that tool. I will still have access to it, but students will not. So I can get rid of anything that I'm not going to be using. I'm not going to be doing conferences. I'm not going to be doing collaboration. I can hide all those tools. And then when I save at the bottom, those tools will be hidden, and it will make the student view a lot easier. You can also rearrange what's left. So if I want the quizzes tool to be up here, and I want the grades to be this, I could rearrange them. And again, when I save, that's going to rearrange those tools over on the left. I'm not going to save because I don't want to rearrange them, but you would have to make sure you clicked on save. Otherwise, you'd have to do it all over again. All right. The last thing I'm going to show you within settings, and then I have only the home page to go, so I should finish on time, are the import course content. So this is where you come to import content from one Canvas course to another. So if I do copy a Canvas course, I select which course I want to copy. I can choose either all content or select specific content. If I do all content, everything is automatically imported in. If I do select specific content, it looks like this one does here. It's telling me it's waiting for selection, and when I select content here, it's going to give me the option to choose exactly what do I want to import in. I just want to import in one module. I just want to import in one assignment. I would choose those by doing that select content. So then I come in here and I find exactly what it is I wanted to import. And so I open up the assignments. This opens it, and I say, okay, yeah, it was, these are my assignment groups. So yes, this is the one I want to import. So I select it, and I click select content. Or if I want to import all of my assignments, I would check this, and then all of my assignments are going to come in. So that's how you do the select content. But if I do all content and then import, it's automatically going to import everything into the course. So let me get out of here and go to my home page. All right, so you always have to make sure that you publish your course, and you do that by clicking on Publish. Now, by default, the modules page is your home page. If your modules are blank, it's going to give you a warning when you open it up. It's going to tell me I have to choose a home page. It won't let me keep modules as my home page because it's empty. So I'm going to have to choose a different home page. I can add my syllabus as the home page, my assignment list. There's the ability to create a home page and use that. Course activity stream is one where it just shows me different things that have happened in the course. So 10 assignment notifications. So there have been 10 new assignments added, and they can access it that way. So if you don't have modules, it's going to ask you to choose. If you've chosen a home page and then you want to already published it, you click on choose home page if you want to change again to something else different, and then you can choose that. All right, and in tomorrow's tools workshop, I show you how to add an actual syllabus to your syllabus tool. But all right, all right, so I'm back, and let me unpublish this. Student view is extremely nice, the student view here, because it allows you to see things the way students do. So if you have a student contact you and say, I can't see any of the items in the module, you can say, okay, did I do something wrong? Everything looks fine to me. You click on student view, and then you can come in here and see, oh yeah, no modules are showing. Or if you do have access to them, you know it's something to do with the student and not the course. That way you can narrow down, is it a student problem or is it my course's problem? If you don't see it in student view, then you know, okay, it's my course. Something's not published or something else is wrong. A date has been set to where it's not open yet. If you see it and your student doesn't, most likely it's they're using an outdated browser, and weird things happen with outdated browsers. So you can actually go through as a student view and take quizzes and submit assignments and play with everything the way a student would do it. So this is a nice feature too to help you. If you have submitted things as the student, that's what the reset student is. It will delete everything you've added in. When you're finished in student view, you click on that leave student view down in the bottom right, and then you're back in as the instructor again. Let me see if I had a question. Nope, that's somebody else talking. All right, so that student view is really nice. The last thing I think, this is this view course notification. This is the course level notification that you can set. So if I click on that, these are notifications for this course only, okay? And so for this course, maybe I don't want to receive announcements. Maybe this is a project site that they're putting in a lot of things and I don't want to receive them. I can turn that off rather than having it turned on just for this course. So these are the course specific notifications for just this course. Again, I have all my different options if I have different methods, cell phone, push notification, different email address, so I can set it for this course specifically. So that's what where the course notification, the course level, and that was again something that was just added sometime at the end of winter semester, I believe. I thought of something else I thought that I wanted to show you, or I remember. Another new thing that was added, if I don't have any assignments here, but if I did have assignments here, if I click on the 3 dots and click on this edit assignment date, this is going to show me every item that I have, and it's a quick way to change due dates on things. So rather than scrolling around in my assignment page trying to figure out, I've imported content from winter semester, all the dates need to be changed. This page is going to show me everything that has a due date, and it's going to allow me to change those due dates here on this page automatically. Let me see if I've got a course with some stuff in it so you can see that. Assignments. Okay, so here we can see there are a bunch of things with due dates. And so right on this page, I can easily change my due dates, my available from and until dates. And so it's a really nicer way rather than going to assignments, clicking on paper 1, changing the date, save. Go to the next one, click on the paper 1 discussion, change the date, save. This is a lot quicker and easier way for you to, and if I select a bunch of them all at once, I can batch edit too. And so I'm going to automatically shift dates or just remove all dates and start fresh. That way I can see what I've done and when I haven't. I have not played around with the shift dates yet, but I'm sure there is a Canvas guide page that explains how to do that. So if you have questions about that, you want to try it, let me know. I'll find that page and I'll figure it out too at that time. So it's too new and we haven't had a chance to play with it yet. So. All right, so I got about 4 minutes. If anyone, excuse me, has any questions about anything that we've covered here today. Like I said, tomorrow we'll get into assignments and syllabus and, you know, a lot of the other basics of all the other tools. So.
Good morning. I had a question.
Okay.
I apologize for logging on late. Something was going on with my computer.
Okay.
But this session, is this the only one that you're going to be doing pertaining to this one, the introduction?
The basics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I have 2 introduction courses. Basics was today. Tomorrow is the tools, which covers inside the course all the different tools that you can use within. Today's covered all of the things mostly outside of the course and a couple of things inside of it. I'm not giving any more basics trainings right now. There will be more in September, but this is the last one before the beginning of this the fall semester.
Okay.
But I do have more in September. I also have recorded versions. If you're interested in watching a previously recorded version, let me know. And I'm actually recording this one, so you can actually go back in once this is finished. You'll be able to watch that video
Yeah,
if
because
you want to.
I missed the first like 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I would love to go back and just view that. So this
Okay.
is my
Yep.
first go around in Saginaw Valley. So how
Oh,
do
okay.
I access that? Your
Um,
replay?
Um, if you are on Teams, the video will show up automatically within the team. So if you know how to use Teams, you find this session, and let me see, is it in chat? So if I'm in Teams and I go to chat, there is a chat for this Canvas 1 introduction. The chat messages all show up here, but also the video itself, once it's been saved, it takes a little bit of time, but once it's over, there will be a link to that video right within this team, okay? And if you're not used to using Teams, let me know, and this is Crystal.
I'm not. I
Oh,
was gonna ask that, but I didn't know if anyone else had a question. I didn't want to take up all the time, but I'm not familiar with the teams.
okay. And you are Crystal?
Crystal Luckiato.
Yes. Okay. I will send you the link to where the videos. I always add all of my videos to a page in Team Dynamics. So I will send you a link to where you can access those videos. That way you can go there and watch it when you need to. Okay.
Thank you
Something
so
else
much.
to turn in for the adjunct office for having taken this workshop. You're going to go to the workshop page. You're going to click on your user menu, view workshop history. As soon as this workshop has ended, I will go in and mark attendance for who attended this. You're going to, once it says completed, it will say that after I've marked your attendance. So you might want to wait 10 or 15 minutes before you try, but it's going to show you that you completed it. You will click on this download link and it's going to download a certificate proving that, yes, you attended this. You would then send that to the adjunct office to show that you attended this workshop. So. All right, so is there any other questions today?
I have a question.
Someone else has a question. How did you get to that, the certificate step?
When you log into the workshop, you click on this user menu, and then there's a view workshop history. That's where you would find it.
So how do I get to the page that you're displaying?
All right, it is svsu.edu/workshops.
Okay, and then you just go in the upper
Yep,
right
and
hand.
you'll log in, and then the upper right, that user menu, and then view workshop history. So, all right, and there was another question?
Yeah, I'm Stacy Brink. I have a question. Can you hear
Okay.
me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I did not get the email when I registered to get onto Google Teams. Actually, somebody had sent me the link to this. And so how would I get to the Google Teams for
It is
tomorrow's meeting?
the easiest way that I found, and I'll walk you through this, and it works best in Chrome, okay? So if I go to my SVSU email, I'm just opening my email inbox in Chrome. All right, once I'm here, I click on the waffle menu in the upper left-hand corner, and then I click on Teams. All right, and that opens my Teams. And it's going to take a second to load. From there, I click on calendar. And so if I click on the calendar here, it loads up my calendar, and then I have a join button right on the calendar. And I will send you a quick how I did that, so you don't have to remember every step.
Okay.
And that's, I find, the easiest way. Once I click on join, the only thing that will happen is going to pop up and ask, do you want to join the meeting through the client or on the web? I always choose on the web. I just find it seems to work easier for me that way. I'm just not a fan of the client. So if it asks you, do you want to join through on the web or the client, choose I want to do on the web instead. And that seems to work better.
Okay. Yeah. When I'm in my email, I don't even see the waffle button that you're talking about. Well, I'm in my inbox is where I'm at.
Okay. Are you in the inbox on the web?
Well, on Canvas, or should I not be in Canvas?
Nope, it's not in Canvas. It would be your regular email, your Outlook email. So if you open a tab and you type in email.svsu.edu, that will take you there. Or if you're from the SVSU homepage, let me go to the svsu.edu. So if I go to the SVSU homepage, I click on Quick Links, and then I click on Email.
Okay.
And then that will open up your email, your Outlook email on the web, and that's when you then will have that waffle menu in the top. And if for some reason Teams isn't here for you, you would click on All Apps down at the bottom, and then Teams will show up. That's every single app that Microsoft has, and Teams will definitely be in there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so are there any other questions before I let you go?
Well, if there's no questions, I want to know, what does Teams mean? Does that mean, what is that? Is that just the name of the site?
Yeah, it's the name of a Microsoft program that is used for, we use it for meetings. My office uses it to talk to each other. So even though I'm at home today and some of my coworkers are at the office or at their home, we can talk and do chats with each other. So here we have, my boss's boss saying good morning to me. And then we have, this is from my workshop yesterday, and we have Nest students that are asking us questions. So we use it for chat within the office. You can do any type of online meeting. So if, like you're used to Zoom, maybe people use all the time, it works like that. I can do a one-on-one meeting with somebody. I can create workshops like this and invite many people. We do our team meetings with my own internal team this way too. So the support center people all get together on a team meeting a couple times a week to discuss everything that's going. So even though we're not all sitting in the office together, we're all on the same page because we can have conversations with each other. So, all right, does that make sense then?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. And I think there are team workshops. If it's something you're interested in learning about how to use Teams, Deb Roberts, I believe, gives some Teams workshops. So if you go to that same workshops page that I told you about and look through, and there's probably workshops coming up this week and next week that have to do with Teams. So if you want to learn more about how to use it yourself, that would be a great workshop to attend. So.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, if we're finished then, if there are no other questions, and if you do have more questions, put in a ticket or email support. That's the best way rather than emailing me directly, because that way if I'm busy and I'm doing workshops and things, somebody else might see your question and be able to grab it quicker than I can. So we always recommend sending it to the support. I'll see it if I'm working and I'll grab it because I do most of the Canvas stuff. But if I'm not working that day or busy, someone else might be able to get back to you quicker than I can. So that's why we always recommend that. Any questions you have, I don't expect you to remember every single thing I've gone through today. As long as you remember, okay, there was a way I could do this. How did you do that? And then we can send you those directions. So, all right. So thank you for attending. And I know I'll see some of you tomorrow again. So